And seventh, entry number 7, shown by John Slump of Acme, Iowa. 8th place in the class was entry number 33 from Alden Farms. 9th, number 6, shown by Iceway Farms, Houston, Missouri. 10th place in the class, number 15, shown by Double J Ranch, Chickasha, Oklahoma. 11th, entry number 20, shown by John D. Stewart, Cushing, Oklahoma. 12th place in the class, entry number 23, shown by Dale and Renee Kennedy, Valencia, Pennsylvania. Here are the frame scores now on Class 2 Shorthorns. Entry number 40, 7.2. Number 36, 8 even. Number 37, 8.2. Number 42, 8.7. Number 43, 7.6. 44 at 8.1. 46, 7.2. 47 at 8.3. 48, 7.4. 51, 7.6, 52, 7.6, 53, 7.4, 54, 7.2, 58, 7.8, 59, 7.8, 61, 7.9, 62, 6.4, 63, 8.4, 66, 7.2, 67, 7.8, 68, and 8 even, 69, 7.5. This announcement from the beef superintendent: generators are not allowed inside the buildings where your cattle are housed. Generators are not allowed inside. The beef superintendent just asked me to make that announcement for you. Class 3 Angus. Third place in the class was entry number 36, shown by Weldon Brady, Noster, Missouri. Fourth, entry number 33.
I think in this particular class, Shorthorn female, you've got a real outstanding group. I think we have 5 females out here that are very, very similar in height. Much more pleased with this particular lineup than I was in my first class. Because in the first class, I had to jump around just a little bit as far as pattern because I couldn't find exactly what I wanted. But with these 5 heifers, I've got 5 out here that I really like. I'd like to make 1 or 2 comments in general just before I talk this class. I think in this particular class, in the sheep they gave me, the brain run from 6'9" to about 8'9". Just looking down at the class, I think the frame on all these cattle is big enough. I don't think we have to have any bigger, and I do like big cattle. So the frame actually goes out the window in this particular class because they're all plenty big enough. I think on these females, something I'd like to see different on them, they've got a lot of long hair on the udder. The Shorthorn breed is a good, strong, maternal breed. I think we need to accent those things and make our breed strong. And we've got that long hair clipped down on these heifers, like this first heifer hanging down about 3 inches. It really detracts from them. I understand the principle behind it, but I like to see more udder development and see how the teats are, somewhat like on the third place heifer, over some of these heifers that are highly fitted with a lot of long hair, taking away one of our strongest traits. The 3 heifers that I have at the top particularly are females that when you watch them walk and travel a wide base. When you watch them walk away from you, they have some natural thickness and muscle. They're wide through that rear end, and they travel well. And I think that's something, when you see me judge today, you'll see that I make cattle walk and travel a lot. Because I'm a real stickler for structural correctness. Sometimes you have such good fitters that once you let them get set up, they can really hide the faults on them. So I like to see them travel and walk out real well where I can evaluate them a little bit freer on the move. The heifer that we're going to start with, just a real outstanding female. She's got volume to her. She's very correct on her feet and legs. She is highly fitted. In fact, I think she's a little bit fatter than she needs to be. That's something we've got to watch because we're trying to feed muscle into some of these cattle. But she's a heifer that has the balance that I'm looking for. She's strong over the top, she's up-headed, has a good clean front to her, and has a lot of volume and natural thickness. When you watch this heifer walk, she tracks wide, has a lot of volume to her. The heifer that I have in a second that I moved up is a heifer that I think is a little bit stronger through the barrel, has a little bit more middle on her than a thicker heifer that we have in third. The roan heifer in second, very similar in height and pattern to the first heifer. She's a long-sided female. Not extremely large frame, but certainly big enough, but she has some length of neck to her, she has some width throughout, and she travels on a good wide base. The heifer that I like an awful lot is the female that's in third. She's a heifer that has a little bit higher tail head than I'd like for her to be. In fact, it's really hair, but it detracts from her. Really, I'd like that clipped out a little bit leveler because this heifer wants to kick that tail head out, and she's always stretched just a little bit. You'd like to see her gathered up maybe somewhat more. But I'll tell you, when you get on top of this heifer, she's really wide over that loin and those loin edges, and she's really got a lot of thickness to her. When you watch her walk and travel away from you, she's got some thickness on those rear legs and some good muscle to her. She's a real good long-necked female, too. I think I like muscle and thickness, and I like a lot of size, but they've got to have some length up front and be neater through those shoulders. The heifer that we have in fourth, not quite as large a frame as the 5 heifers that are profiling before you, but she's an extremely long-sided female, nice through the shoulder, has a good profile to her, wants to fall off just a little bit from hooks to pins, be a little bit lower in that pin setting, but a female that follows the height that I'm looking for. Adequate frame, a lot of length of side, really extended up front. The heifer that I have in fifth, another real outstanding heifer. She would track a little bit better on her hind legs as far as width. She could have moved up. I really like the profile on this heifer. The young man does a good job showing her. She's strong top, really up-headed, really a nice female. She's a little bit heavier in that brisket and a little bit heavier in that underline and navel than some of the heifers that stand above her. Not quite as clean in the lower third, but a real good upstanding red female. Down next, I have some big females that have some volume to them. The heifer in 6 is a heifer that's a little bit higher in the flank than I'd like for her to be. She really has a lot of volume to her, but she disappoints you when you watch her walk and travel away. A real big frame heifer right next to her. She's a heifer that's not quite as well balanced as the heifers that stand above her. I appreciate the size on her. She also disappoints you somewhat on the move. A real good class of heifers. In this particular class, you have heifers that can go any way you want in your program, whether you would need size, meat, height, or whatever. I'm going to go with complete heifers that have some thickness and move with structural correctness to start this class. Thank you.
We would like to introduce to you folks Wayne Womack, manager of Rattle and Snap Farm, who is one of the official scorers here, and he will explain the 3-man committee system to you. John Johns is another one of the official scorers. Go ahead, Wayne.
I'll attempt to explain to you how we arrive at the official placings. We left the board up, and I have a card in front of me on the last class. As we start at the top, you'll notice that all the judges agree, so that therefore there's no tabulation to be made. Same thing with the second place animal. When we get out to the third, we have a discrepancy. Now the way that the 3-man judge system works, you look at the number that Judge A has and the number that Judge B has on their scorecard. You then take those 2 numbers, go to the referee's card, and find the number that matches one of those 2, which the referee has placed the highest, and that becomes